Today we are reviewing the new Callaway AI150 iron. This has just been released here in the UK and it is to replace that Apex Pro iron. We've actually got the old Apex Pro here and we can definitely see some differences in terms of the looks. You know, they've gone for this kind of more polished feel to it, which I like. It's funny how these companies bounce around between more like a brushed steel and the polish. In reality, it all comes down to preference, but it does look nice, I must admit. Again, if we're looking in that playing position, well, we can definitely sort of see similar profiles to the Apex Pro. If anything, probably looks slightly smaller and just a little bit less offset as well. So I'd say it's definitely an upgrade in terms of the looks. But remember, you know, it is for a better golfer. It's not quite like their player's iron as such. You know, it is still looking for distance. It's 31 degrees, but it's perhaps bridging that gap between maybe your kind of low single figure handicapper and then obviously into that AI200 and 300 that they brought out a few months ago. So it's really trying to bridge that gap for definitely your better player who is still looking for some distance as well. But again, obviously following the new kind of you know, the 300, the 200, and then the 150. So they're sort of following that pattern in terms of the way they're naming it. But yeah, it looks good. Let's hit a few shots. Let's give you my thoughts and feelings in terms of how it performs. But certainly in that playing position, yeah, it's definitely smaller. I've actually got the AI200 as well, which we might just compare it to. But yeah, it looks pretty small, quite nice, a sort of mid to small top line on it there. That felt nice. First one was good there. As I said, 31 degrees, so we're going to expect spin numbers around about 5,000, I would say, for a 7-iron. Feels good, feels, you know, quite hot. You know, it is a forged face, so it's a hollow body with a forged face, so you should get some quite nice feel off it. And there, that was quite a bit off the bottom, and distance has probably dropped 10 yards or so. So there is a level of forgiveness. So if you're perhaps somebody that still wants a bit of forgiveness, but you don't want to go as high up as that AI200, that felt nice. Yeah, it was good. And if we just sort of compare it now to the AI200, because I think it's important to get it clear in your mind where they kind of sit. From behind, yes, clearly they're different. I actually thought they might have done the sort of brush steel with this 150 just to get in line with the 200 and 300, but clearly they're trying to sort of distinguish between the two looks-wise. And then as we go down into that playing position, you can definitely see a difference. You know, the 200 is quite a bit thicker, a bit more offset. You know, definitely you'd say the AI200 is more for, you know, mid to low handicapper. This new 150 is definitely aimed at your better golfer. Quite a bit smaller really in terms of overall footprint. That sort of top line, definitely can see a difference there. That felt nice. But yeah, I think my overall first impressions, guys, I think it feels solid, looks nice, definitely for a better player. I think if you are somebody who strikes the ball pretty well, looking for that extra distance, we could see a few guys fitting into this iron. Quick break. If you're enjoying this video and want to take your game to the next level, I've put together a short, practical ebook to help you find the right golf clubs for you, based on your swing, budget and skill level, whether you're a beginner or upgrading after years on the course. You can grab it right now using the link in the description below. It'll save you time, money and frustration. As a bonus, I'm offering a free online lesson when you buy the ebook. Back to the video. And one thing Callaway have been speaking about is, you know, the design of the sole, and we're seeing that on a few brands in terms of they're very much sort of shaving off this front edge and the back edge, but more so the front edge to help with that turf interaction. So if you're, you know, a good ball striker, you wanted to hit down into the ground, take that divot after the ball. Well, this is designed just to sort of increase the, you know, improve that sort of turf interaction. And again, we have seen other brands do this. That felt nice. But yeah, my first impressions, I think they've done a solid job. You know, that Apex Pro was a good iron. We will do some head-to-heads with this 150, and we're going to compare it to the 250 as well. So it'll help you decide which one might be best for you. Nice. Okay, let's just hit one more. But yeah, I mean, spin looks to be about 5.5, which is good. So we're going to get some decent stopping power on the greens. Okay, let's take a deeper dive into the numbers. Let's start off with that dispersion. Okay, dispersion, to be honest, I've hit 3 big misses out to the right, which is not like me really, but you've obviously got a group in there in the middle, but the ones out to the right, clearly it's not the club. It's more me just leaving that face open. And then if we just look at some of the key numbers, club speed, maybe a little lower than normal for me. Ball speed about 114, so it's not the quickest, but I don't think they're claiming to be. It's more about balancing the feeler element as well. Launch angle's quite normal there, about 18 degrees. Overall height a little bit low, again 31 degrees, so that there's an element of the loft as well contributing to that. But the spin number's pretty good really for the loft at 5,500. That's quite good. You know, so you're going to get some good stopping power. It's not like it's spinning at 4.5 and it's going to land and roll on. So it is for, I say, for the better golfer. Average carry 161. I think I got some up at like 170. I think that's brought the average down with a couple of bad ones in there. So the distance is pretty good. So all in all, I think they've done a good job. Is it any better than the Apex Pro? Not so sure yet. We'll do some head-to-heads, but I do think they've done a solid job in terms of the looks, and we will do some head-to-heads against the AI200 to see which one is the best. But all in all, good job. Definitely for, you know, your lower handicap golfer, a very nice iron from Callaway for you to try out if you are in the market.